asking some of the questions that everyone wants to know.
This is a question related to traffic. And it's something that we all, at one point, have been through, or at one point will go through, of being stopped by bullies. Now, as a driver in a traffic situation or traffic stop, my question is, can you clarify your rights as far as, can an officer search your vehicle?
No, the officer can't without anything else. Now, say on a general traffic stop, you get pulled over, the officer said you're speeding, and there's nothing else other than the speed. Then what he's instructed to do pursuant to the code is to issue you a summons and send you on your way. Now, if he pulls you over for speeding and then he smells marijuana, then everything changes at that point, because he has a right to search everybody that's in the car. He has a right to search the entire vehicle because he has the PC based on the smell of the marijuana. That's pretty
The PC would be
I'm sorry, probably
cause. Okay.
If I can,
I'm a little illegally literate.
yeah,
That's all right.
if I can interject on that, the smell of marijuana, which is completely subjective, is that just completely, we take the officer's word for it, there's no other factor? If he says I smell it, he smells it, and he's good.
That's really the case. In all practicality, that's the case. Sometimes I'll have a client that will, we will argue to the court that it wasn't marijuana, that it was a cigarette, or some kind of cigar that they were smelling. The court will get into an inquiry with the officer. How long have you been a police officer? How are you trained in the detection of drugs? And the officer goes through an explanation. After that is when the court's going to believe the officer that he or she smelled marijuana.
And one more thing, when they detain you and they say that we're going to hold you until the dogs get here, if they have probable cause for anything else other than drugs, is it reasonable for them to bring dogs? I mean, aren't the dogs trained to smell drugs?
Right. You can't just search someone's vehicle without their consent. But if you have some articulable suspicion that there are drugs in the car, then that's a scenario where you may call for the dogs. But if they smell the marijuana, you don't need to do that unless they can't find it. Now, you'll see situations where it has been hidden in compartments in vehicles and the police just can't find it. And the dog will assist them in locating where it is in a hidden compartment in the car. But otherwise, they can search the whole vehicle themselves to locate it.
Is there an amount of time that they can hold you while they're waiting for these dogs?
No.
It's unlimited.
Yes.
We talked about jury duty and criminal cases that either have jeopardy attached or don't have jeopardy attached. If the case ends without a verdict, is there a certain amount of time that the prosecutor has to go back and try that case? You said it's up to the prosecutor,
right.
Or does it depend on the statute of limitations of the crime?
Right. No, not in Virginia. First of all, once the case goes to trial, then everything is, as far as we call it speedy trial. In civil cases, they refer to the statute of limitations.
Okay.
All of that has been complied with already once a person gets to the trial level. Because if there was a violation of the speedy trial, then the defense attorney would have made a pretrial motion to have the case dismissed before it went to trial.
Okay.
So once the case goes to trial and there's no verdict, then the case law just indicates the prosecution has a reasonable amount of time to get the case back before the court. And what you see is that they're going to put it back on the docket pretty quickly, especially if it's a criminal case. My first murder case, when I was a prosecutor, I tried 3 times. I had 3 hung juries, 2 hung juries, and then the 3rd time they convicted the guy. And so murder cases are such that a prosecutor is really going to go at all lanes. Obviously, if you're prosecuting someone for a crime like that, you feel like you have sufficient evidence that they've committed the crime, and you don't want them to be free. You want them to be punished for what you believe they've done. And so you will go out go through all measures. Now, if it had come the third time, I think that the judge likely would have dismissed the case.
If they had a situation where they did not, they could have gathered more evidence, and this, in essence, gives them more time to gather evidence. And I know they're going to try to be quick about it, but they don't have, other than a reasonable amount of time, they don't have any limitation on how long.
No, and they can do exactly what you suggested, is that they can, if there's new evidence that comes up, or they can send an investigator out to look for more evidence, they can do all of that in the interim. You don't have to, and it's a rare case that they will put on the exact same case again.
One of the questions from my email, Law and Order SVU, how accurate depiction is that? There's your answer.
Yes.
We'll be right back.